estamos de regreso aquí con DIIV. DIIV.
Yes.
How do you say it right?
However you want.
Okay, for me it's DIIV.
Sure.
DIIV.
No, it's DIIV. It's DIIV. Estamos aquí con Cole y Ben, right? And the words with names, you know. I'm always mixing, even or you know, people that work here.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It's hard. I mean, well, you know.
When you're like on, I don't know, your crew, the band crew. Whenever there's like a new member, do you struggle to remember their names?
No.
Because the crew is only the
You
four of you.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. I think we have a pretty small crew, so.
Okay.
There's a lot of people in the world and only so many names, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, but when you travel, I mean, you're going to
Sorry.
play tomorrow at Indie Rocks. It will be like, I don't know, Felipe and Marcos and whatever.
Yeah.
It will be hard.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome to the La Bestia, because you've been in La Bestia Radio before, but welcome to La Bestia, first time in the house. DIIV. I think people is pretty excited that you guys are here.
Oh, yeah.
Do you feel that vibe in Mexico
Right now?
City?
Oh, in Mexico City. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I feel like just in general in Mexico and South America, the response is like so much more enthusiastic and energetic than back at home, you know?
But why is that? People like in the US is not so like, I don't know, screaming a lot or anything.
It's more rare. Definitely.
More rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's cultural, or I have no idea.
Maybe it's just like they have the opportunity to see an American band all the time or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
and it's just like it means something to travel down here because it's not like it's not the easiest. There's a lot of traveling and the cities are far apart and stuff.
Yeah. And people say that the Mexican crowd is good. It's loud.
Yeah,
They say,
definitely.
I don't know, because I'm Mexican crowd, so
No, it's true.
I scream
true.
a lot.
for me it's the same at every show. But for example, as a foreigner, they say in Argentina people are crazy. Like very, very crazy. Have you ever played there?
Yeah, like last week they were
Oh,
crazy.
last week.
Yeah.
So you come from down there,
Yeah.
not from the US.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did
Okay.
This is the end of our tour.
2 shows in Argentina. We did Mar del Plata and we did Buenos Aires, and they were crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how crazy? Like what do you mean? Or
Wild.
Because I've never been there. I've never been to a show there. I've never been there. So, but people say they are, energetic. And they scream a lot.
Well, yeah, like our new album only came out a couple months ago or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's in English, which is a foreign language in Argentina, and they're singing every word, singing the guitar lines.
Okay.
It's like that. I don't know. That has never happened with these songs, so it was insane feeling.
And they're singing the wrong words.
Maybe one or two of
La,
them.
la, 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 la.
But so when you're playing like the lead guitar, are they? How do you feel they are singing? Like they are not singing words. They are just like singing something like a noise. It's weird.
I mean, that's something that is unique to not the United States. Like, that doesn't happen at all up there, which I think is really interesting. Every time it happens here, I'm like, we should make sure that there's always like a singable guitar line in the song.
The Cure style, you know. It's
Yeah,
like-
exactly.
Yeah, totally. And you have been recognized here in the streets. Like somebody stopped you, like, "Hey, dudes, are you from DIIV?"
No.
Not yet.
Not here.
We bumped into one person that we recognized from the customs line at the airport.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
And,
That's crazy.
and what did you tell him? Or just look at the person in the street. Or
Just kind of a little like,
Yeah, just shooting the shit.
yeah.
okay. And you guys were doing laundry yesterday. Where?
Not me. I bought socks.
At the at the laundromat, a block from our hotel in Roma.
Okay, you were staying in Roma. I'm not gonna say the name of the hotel, but close by.
I don't think either of us remember.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I can't remember the name.
Do you just have a picture, like,
Yeah.
show it?
But you guys were doing laundry at the hotel, or you went to a place somewhere?
I think I'm the only one that did laundry, but
Okay.
I walked to a place. It was very charming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, laundry spots here are actually like right behind this wall.
Oh yeah, we have a laundry here.
There's a laundry place.
Like, should have brought my
I
suitcase.
know.
Yeah,
Huge mistake.
Yeah.
we didn't tell the staff that because that would have been easy. No, you don't have to buy socks anymore. You can just.
Well, I actually fucked up. My suitcase is really big and full of stuff, and after I bought socks, I realized I had plenty of socks. I should have bought a pair of pants.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
you know.
Well, you can buy around Roma. You know, there's a lot of cozy stores. And
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff.
yeah.
There's been this thing on this tour where it's so nice, and you know, there's all these bands that we play with, and all these people they meet, they want to give us gifts, and so it's like T-shirts of like their band or the thing, which is really cool, and it's like things that we, you know, CDs and tapes, and we really like. I want to keep them,
But you can't.
I have to carry. Well, I mean, no, we are. So our suitcase is like my suitcase is like half clothes and then half like gifts.
Yeah.
T-shirts of bands and record labels and
Yeah.
records and tapes.
you bring
and,
something to us.
I mean, you can have whatever you want.
Okay, so
I'm
here's
joking.
your chance of giving. We won't give you anything, so you can give us your gifts, and then you can get to go home light.
Okay. Yeah, later.
But so also the suitcases are small because the airplanes they won't let you they will charge you for basically like being
Everything.
like wearing a hat. It's like, oh, you're wearing a hat,
Yeah.
$20.
I haven't got charged for that yet.
No, but it is expensive.
It is.
They really get you.
But you travel light, like you try
No,
or you
it's
have
impossible,
to.
right?
We try, but
I mean, personally, we do like our personal stuff, but our show is very like tech.
Yeah.
You know, it's like really pro. We wanted to like step the live show up every single time we do a tour, and so like part of that is every song's in a different tuning, and so we have to bring. I think we
A lot
brought
of guitars.
8 guitars.
Yeah.
Damn. All right.
Stuff like that. So there's
I-
a fee for that.
Yeah, I play with a band that have that kind of trouble, and I'm trying to like make a lot of noise between songs to
Yeah.
to do like
We do that too.
Yeah.
that's the trick, right?
Yeah.
We've gotten good at it. It used to be when we first started using a lot of alternate tunings, there would just be like a minute of silence between every song, and we were like, we can't do this anymore.
Do you think about it when you guys are recording that song? Like, okay, we can try maybe. No,
We try not to.
Yeah,
you just
like
add a guitar in your
you're
mind.
kind of just like serving the record, and you're like, whatever makes the record the best, and then
Yeah.
you deal with the consequences later.
Yeah, like Future DIIV will handle this.
Yeah.
Not us. It's
Exactly.
Not us. Like Future, them guys are fucked basically.
I'll be way smarter then.
Yeah.
At what moment Gibson? I remember Gibson guitars try like to have like a robot tuning on the tuning, but it was failure,
Yeah, there's no easy way.
And then Gibson guitars didn't tune, anyway. So it's like, yeah, they're not getting tuned at all.
But it's easier for you. You play drums.
Yeah.
Like you are the one that have to carry a lot of guitars.
I mean, you do gotta tune drums, you know?
Yeah, and you gotta carry
you
them
gotta
too.
tune drums.
Yeah.
But you don't carry drums. Do you carry? What do you carry with you? The snare or cymbals?
On this tour, because we're flying so much, just like snare cymbals, a little kick pedal. We have a sample that we use for the snare drum to make it sound good.
Which one do you use? The Roland?
Yeah, it's like
The SPD.
yeah, but we don't. It's just a trigger on the snare drum, so I don't actually hit the sampler.
Okay.
It's just there to beef up. We use the real snare and the sample at the same time. So yeah, I mean, I have a little bit of gear, and then when we play in the States, we bring everything. So
Yeah.
Was
So
that Phoebe Bridgers line like how's playing drums? Like it's a lot to carry.
it's something like that.
Good line.
But you carry all of that so I was just telling you outside of the booth that we were talking on Zoom some time back, and you guys were on the tour bus, which looked big. So in the tour bus, you carry the whole drum kit
Yeah,
and the whole
everything. The sound
everything.
desk. The
Sound desk,
I
yeah.
mean,
yeah, like everything you need for a show.
So the sound desk, you don't depend on every venue providing you the correct one,
Right.
And having your engineer to, figure out that shit every show. So you just put your board plug it, and that's it. Well, it sounds so easy. I
Yeah,
guess.
it's not quite that simple, but yeah.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah,
room sounds different.
Yeah, I was watching last night a documentary of the 80s. I don't know if you saw that from Paramount Plus, and they were talking about how they start, you know, like the glam rock and everything. And it was like kind of overwhelming that guys live like the dream. I mean, the dream for some people, you know, not for me because they are doing drugs and, you know, party all day long.
Yeah.
That's a dream for some people as well.
Yeah.
We still dreaming that.
Yeah.
I'm too old for that. But anyway, like they live like that life, you know, and now it's way, way, way different, you know. It's like everybody's carrying their own stuff and you can do anything on hotels. These guys destroy the whole room, you know.
Yeah.
Have you ever do something like a rock star thing in your trips?
Like not even close.
Like maybe like a really like miniature version of just like, you know, getting drunk and missing a flight, which is like not fun or cool at all. Just
yeah, we're like cleaning up the dressing room when
Yeah.
we leave, and like
We try to
throwing
be
stuff away
respectful.
and like organizing, you know, because like we're kind of all in this together, and like, you know, venues and artists, the means of making a living has become like way more difficult. So we're kind of like, especially independent venues, independent promoters and stuff, we're like all on the same team. So it's like a culture of mutual respect,
Yeah.
as opposed to like that, which I don't really understand like what that even is, you know? Like
Yeah.
destroying a hotel room, I don't. I mean, it's probably fun, I guess.
Like Keith Moon bringing a car into a swimming pool at a hotel.
Yeah.
The famous story of the Who.
And look
That
at him
kind of
now.
stuff. you can do that now,
yeah.
but you need a car.
Didn't he die in a swimming pool too? Or no, he
No, I think
jumped
he
in an
died in a-
empty
No,
swimming pool.
he overdosed on like anti-alcoholism meds.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Keith
Antabuse?
Moon? He wasn't that like a choking or something like that, like drowning in his own like vomit or something like that.
I'm not
No,
sure.
it was Hendrix, I think so.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
probably. No, that was overdose. Well,
Same thing.
All sounds fun.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, we don't get to do that stuff.
yeah. I mean, it's curious because, so like alternative music is not like on the big spot, which is I guess it's like a matter of. We were talking about this yesterday with a friend. It's a matter of like supply and demand. So like not a lot of people is willing to pay for shows of alternative bands as much as probably pop music, I guess. So like the alternative world gets to keep things like more respectful, like you were saying. So I think that's nice.
It's nice, but it's also just kind of like survival mechanism. Like
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
want to keep each other afloat because we both depend on each other equally.
Yeah.
You know.
What do you think is lacking, like alternative music, like to like get to more people?
I mean, that's what
What's
we're.
happened?
That's like what we're trying to do all the time by elevating the show and elevating the records and stuff. Is like try to reach a new level, but I don't know how to access that. That's the big question.
I think it's like fashion. It just happens in cycles, and I think for a long time, electronic music and hip hop and pop were the things, because like in the '90s, alternative music was kind of the mainstream, and I imagine it'll come back around. I feel like the younger kids are into guitar music and stuff. We'll see. I don't know about like mainstream culture in general is so fragmented because of the internet. People can find their little subgenre that they're into, and so everything's chopped up in these little pieces. And then it's like if you have a song that people use on a TikTok video, all of a sudden you can play in the arena. But
There's also like way more corporate control. It feels like
Yeah.
than even there was. There's like way less of an ability to like break through organically because there's just so many big giant institutions, whether it's like streaming institutions or labels and the backdoor deals they have with each other that kind of like put stuff in your vision or whatever, and then that's kind of the thing that you like. It's like kind of the same, I guess, as it was. There's still a lot of like corporate, but it just seems more like optimized. They like figured it out.
Yeah, but actually, like putting songs or making songs like big on TikTok, for example, it's not like really the answer. We were talking with Pablo and I were on the car on our way here, and he was talking to me about some band that went huge on TikTok because of the hate. Like everyone hated them, and then so they were super famous, and then they, you know, broke up. So it's like it's not really like they were huge. They were, you know, they were getting so much attention, and then they split. So it's like it's not, you know, all the time is the answer, because as you were saying, you know, breaking through organically just because people like your music and want to go to a show and pay a ticket is not so common.
Yeah, I mean, and fame, I don't think is something to be aspired to. I think in our industry, unfortunately, it's like, you know, the fame and the fortune are tied together. We need people to know who we are in order to sell the records or whatever. But I think a lot of, in our culture, at least in the States, people just want to be famous, and they don't realize that, like, that can really destroy you as a person. I don't know.
And you guys go to shows live? I mean, you guys go to like to see other bands and
Yeah.
yeah. What do you see?
Well, in New York, you get to see Bruce Springsteen every weekend, and Fish
Every weekend, yeah.
every weekend.
I've never seen Bruce or Fish, but maybe someday.
Do you like it?
Neither.
No.
I like Bruce. Come on.
You like
He's all
Bruce?
right.
Yeah.
Nebraska, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
That's always the like, you don't like Bruce, like, listen to Nebraska.
Yeah.
And that's always the thing, you know, because he was listening to a lot of like suicide and stuff, and it's like really
What was the last show that you guys went to?
well, we all this is the Green Day show, the last show we went to.
Yeah, the last show that we didn't play, I think that was...
Yeah, we went to we really wanted to see Smashing Pumpkins. They're opening for Green Day.
Yeah.
And so we pulled some industry strings, sent some texts and begged for tickets, and we got the tickets and we went, and it was crazy. They were launching fireworks like inside. It was like harrowing.
Yeah, it was...
Where was it?
Like
In an arena?
I think it was
stadium.
in Canada.
I think
Oh,
it was in
stadium.
Yeah, stadium.
Toronto.
Huge.
Or Montreal or something. No,
Montreal.
Canada. Or
Yeah.
I mean Toronto.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Montreal, maybe? I don't
Somewhere
know.
in Canada.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, but this is like this huge Dookie 30th
Yeah.
anniversary stuff. So I guess it's pretty big.
It is big. And it was... They played Dookie and American Idiot.
We left during that though.
Yeah.
Of course, we will do it that too.
Yeah.
They play here.
Pablo loves American Idiot. But
Different generation.
Pablo is American Idiot guy, and we are the Dookie guys.
Yeah.
So we get to go to see Dookie, and then we leave.
Yeah, we had a friend with us who was younger and was like raised on American Idiot. So it
Yeah,
was,
she knew like their whole catalog, like front to back, and I think she said she ran like a blog about. I don't know. She knew everything
Yeah,
about
she was
Green Day,
a
so
huge
we'd be
fan.
like,
yeah.
And how about the Pumpkins? Those are guys are my favorite band ever. You know. It's
really?
They're
Yeah,
incredible.
it was insane. Yeah, the set list was like exact. If I could have curated a set list, it was like pretty much.
They really
that.
played all the hits.
Do you like the new
Except
songs?
they didn't play XYU.
Some of them, yeah, because the day that we saw them, the next day they put out the new record.
Okay.
And so I was like, oh, yeah, I'll check it out. And the first couple songs on the album, I was like, holy shit, like, they made a
They're
good
good.
record.
Okay, actually a good record.
Yeah, I think as you go more into the album, there's some songs that are not as good, but like
That's just your opinion, man.
that's just my opinion. Number one, and number two, I think you know that you can't win them all. But I think it's actually a huge achievement to be a band for that long and
Yeah,
still put
sure.
out good records. I think.
But I'm
that's
with
awesome.
you. I'm with you with that album. I think the first song, the second one, and maybe the fifth song, they're kind of good.
Yeah.
And then I think it's hard. I mean, for bands, you know, like with the time, that's an issue. I mean, I think for every band, you know, it's like it's hard like to find like a 25-year-old band that release a new album and it's still interesting. You know, maybe Radiohead. I don't know.
I think there's something kind of culturally where we aren't really as interested in like growing and developing artists as we used to be. It's kind of like about new discovery, because then you can find people who will work for like no money, you know, and you don't have to really nurture them. You can kind of just chew it up and spit it out. But you know, seeing a band like, you know, Depeche Mode or something, when we toured with them, they're putting out an album like every 2 years or every year, and they're growing and developing and like continuing to make like better and better and better and better records. You know, they had like a 10 album run that's like flawless.
Yeah.
And that is like more rare now. It takes like you kind of have to like brute force it and work through these like obstacles that may or may. I mean, obviously they had a lot of obstacles in their career too, but different ones, you know.
Yeah, Depeche Mode is a great example of how to do it bold, you know.
Yeah,
sure.
their new record. We toured with them on their new record, Memento Mori, and it's like amazing record.
Yeah,
you know.
and how it's live, like, how's to tour with Depeche Mode? It kind of be overwhelming, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like incredible to see them play every day.
Yeah.
And they're so
Every day.
professional, you know. It's like they Gahan is like a, I don't know if the best from and ever, you know. It's
Yeah.
like, it's better than Axl Rose right now.
Do you guys see DIIV like doing something similar in terms of being such a band that's put out good records like for such a long time?
We want to, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
the goal.
Yeah.
Because recently, for example, Black Midi split, and Jordi said, "So we should just stop doing this now because we've put out good records, and you know that's what people should listen to, not you know." So his argument was basically that bands over time they lose their ability, or most bands probably their ability to make good records.
I mean, if you make that, you know, if you are like aware of like it's not going to be a good record, then giving up is cool. I think that's like
smart.
admirable. I think for us, we put so much. We love like the album, you know, as a format, and we're kind of like boomers in that sense because that's not really like the way the streaming model works at all, and that's how most people consume music. But we are like so album focused, but because of like the difficulty in like making a living doing this, it's like we have to tour and do all this stuff, so it's not as easy to put out a record every year like Sonic Youth or Depeche Mode or something, who had you know, Sonic Youth like could take their advance and build a recording studio or whatever. Like we struggle just to pay for like the couple music videos that we need for the thing or whatever. So it's just a different ecosystem. So when people are like, why did it take so long to make a new record? It's like, I mean, you want us to tour, you want us to do this, you want us to do this.
It's not making pancakes.
I think
It's not as cheap as pancakes. It's not as easy as pancakes.
That's true. It's not as good as pancakes. Yeah.
At least you guys are not Tool, you know. It's like 10 years or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, you know, who knows? Maybe the next one will take 10 years to make. But I think it's been sort of a blessing that it's taken us, you know, about 4 years every time to make an album, because I do think that we've been able to keep the quality up because we're not putting out an album every year. So we take it really seriously. We work really hard and we hold ourselves to a high standard. So, yeah, I think if we got to a point where we were feeling lazy and we were kind of phoning it in, maybe we would be like, all right, the band sucks now, but we're not planning for that, you know, like we've really put everything into this band and we want to keep the quality like as high as we can. So we're still trying, you know, and as you were saying about Black Midi, like I respect that because there have been a lot of bands, especially if they have some success, they just kind of start making music about, you know, their like rich people problems or whatever. Yeah. Not that Black Midi was doing that, you know, but you know what I'm saying. I think it's a respectable choice to quit while you're ahead.
We were putting the example that day of the Foo Fighters, like putting so many records that sound. It sounds like a formula. I think it's not just saying it's a bad thing, but it's a. So you have the one song that it's very similar to another song in the previous record that is supposed to be like the nostalgic song, and then you have, you know, the fast song, and you know it's like a formula. So they keep putting records that sound like very much one like the other.
Yeah, replicating, you know,
replicating a formula that it's not exciting anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if they're challenging themselves that much. I think they're having fun, which is cool. You know, I think you can't really blame someone, especially as you get older and you have a family and whatever. You're just kind of doing your thing. They don't have to worry financially. You know, there's no like fire under them to like make the best record ever.
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, and it feels kind of like ego-driven a little bit or something.
Yeah.
Whereas like I feel like there's like something about making our records that like is like ego destroying. You know.
What do you mean?
Just like you know, like presenting ideas and conflict and all this stuff, and like learning how, you know, learning that your idea isn't the best one, or learning that you don't have the answer, or you are like don't even understand what the band is or what we're, you know, it's like it really like breaks you down, and then you kind of build yourself back up. It's like a kind of like a cathartic process. So it seems like way different than, you know, like making a Foo Fighters record.
Yeah, we're really brutally honest with each other.
Okay.
And that can be hard.
Well, but that's important as well.
Yeah, and it's something you have to learn. It's a skill, you know. It doesn't, because you have to walk the line between, you don't want to like really piss someone off or make them feel sad or whatever, like, but you also want to be honest with yourself and with them. So finding that balance is hard.
Yeah, the hardest part is how to say it, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like better to say it in the moment than like
Totally,
in a week
totally.
when you're pissed or something. You know, like if you let it stew and
You
whatever.
keep with that thing in your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to be honest, I will raise your ego at least because I think Frog in the Boiling Water is a generational album. I think
Whoa.
it will be like it will. I think it represents these years, you know, the sound of this album. I think it represents what is happening right now, you know, like that shoegaze sound. I mean, that it's like the young generation is trying like to achieve, or I think you guys are like the reference for many people, and I think this album is your greatest for me, at least, and I think it sounds like this era of music.
Thanks. Yeah, huge compliment.
Yeah, thank you.
And Cole, you were saying some minutes ago something about paying your videos.
Yeah.
And you had Fred Durst.
Yeah.
So that doesn't sound cheap.
It was very cheap. In fact, it was $0.
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it was just like he's a friend or something.
He did it for free, yeah.
He's a friend of a friend, but we wanted to do this like SNL thing, and so we had all these different ideas of like, you know, deep faking a celebrity or whatever, but we just thought it'd be so cool if we got like a real celebrity, and then we like thought about it and we're like, we don't know any
Yeah.
like even we don't know anybody who knows any celebrities, but our manager, I guess, had a long relationship. It was like Fred, friends with Fred, and he was like the exact type of kind of weird like plausible deniability type of I don't know how to describe, like kind of like ironic or like self-aware kind of like a meta performer.
Yeah.
You know, like my theory about Limp Bizkit was that it was kind of like a bit, you know, and he kind of is as weird as we wanted him to be for this thing. So it was actually like a perfect fit, and he was like down, you know, even though like it means, I don't know if he ever would be on SNL, but it like probably was not good for his relationship with NBC or whatever. But like such a sweet, cool guy. He like drove an hour to be there. It was really nice.
Nice.
So you meet him.
Yeah, we were like in the
Okay.
thing.
Maybe he sent it in a green screen or something.
No. You guys. So first thing I thought when I saw the video, it was, they are really on SNL.
Me
like,
too.
Like he's actually the you know, the guest, the host, and you're actually the musical guest. So I was like, fuck. So there must be another song, and there wasn't another song, because usually there's two songs. So it's, where's the other one?
We thought about doing two.
We thought about that like the day we were filming.
Yeah.
We were like, oh fuck, they usually do two.
We didn't have enough time.
Yeah, we didn't have enough time.
The
for
second
many.
one will be for real.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That would be
Definitely
sick.
not.
Yeah. Billie Eilish and then DIIV.
Yeah.
But
Could happen.
actually, in the start of the video, the first, so when you see Fred wearing that Jello thing, you're actually there sitting in the audience too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we just didn't have any like
Enough
extras or whatever.
Yeah.
So you had to.
We thought it'd be funny.
We thought it'd be kind of funny, yeah.
And then you guys, so who are the people that take your places? Like at some point in the video, there's some people playing guitar, playing drums.
The idea, I guess, was like we wanted it to look as like real as possible, but just with like a couple things that made it feel like fucked up or like not real. So we kind of wanted to like play with the idea of like deep faking, but not really like lean too much into that kind of. That feels like very like dating, you know, or like just kind of like boring. So yeah, we just had like the ideas, I guess, that we were deep faked or that there's these actors playing us. We were talking about that. It was like a Simpsons skit that we kind of just wanted to like adapt for this thing. But yeah, it's like those are like some of our good friends. The guy who played me, Parker, was like the creative director on the record. He's the guy who made the album cover. Our friend Brian played Ben. Friend Daryl played Colin, and then our friend George played Bailey.
That's cool. It's a super cool video. And so, how was the day with Fred? Were you guys fans of Limp Bizkit back in the day, or now, even now, or it was just like, you know, he happened to be a friend of a friend who can't just do the thing for the video?
I mean, I do remember hearing their cover of Faith on the radio when I was a kid, and I thought it was cool as fuck because he was screaming, you know?
Yeah.
Gotta have faith! But I wasn't like a huge fan or whatever. But yeah, it really fit the world, and as we said, he was such a cool guy. So yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, and he liked like the dark humor, you know. He always played that role, you know.
Exactly.
I like that guy because of that, you know. It's like
playing a role is a good way to put it. I feel, and like the musicianship of that band was so, like they did take it seriously.
Yeah, they're incredible musicians.
Yeah, they're like very good musicians and stuff. I watched their like Woodstock performance the day before we did the shoot just to kind of like jog my memory, and I was like, man, they were like, you know, there's other bands playing Woodstock, and they just kind of had this different bar of like musicianship. I was never a fan, but I like have some kind of like respect for it somewhere.
Yeah, everyone there plays a lot, you know, like Wes is so creative, and the bass player is like, wow, it's like a Rage Against the Machine guy, you know. And they're really good. People is so excited on the chat because we are right now live on Twitch, and if you guys don't know that. But for example, Anagrama is saying like, she really is in depth with you. With her life. I don't know how to translate.
Like, she says, I owe you my life.
I owe you my life, Fucking shit. Okay, Banana Foss is saying, if you see somebody like
weeping,
during the Horsehead song, it will be him.
Okay.
So please play it.
Sure.
We will play
just for him.
Okay.
Paps is saying that he's a fan since 2013.
Where were you in 2012, man?
You lost a year, man.
So Panacota is asking if you guys are ready. So today is a special date, not because of a good thing, but because there have been like two earthquakes. So at 11, like in exactly 10 minutes, you're gonna listen to a huge sound, creepy sound in the street. So just don't freak out.
Did you bring your video camera?
Yeah, I got all my. Maybe I'll do the sound recording.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah,
nice.
It's really creepy. Like, it makes me feel very nervous, but just don't freak out. It's not a real earthquake, I hope.
Maybe come after that.
Okay, cool.
Sergio is asking here, can you ask them about their tour with Fontaines DC? I don't know what to ask, but they are cool as fuck as well.
Yeah.
Do you like them?
Yeah, that's a band that we've really been like rooting for a long time, and I feel like, I don't know, not to like whatever, I feel similar in a way, similar to us. They like kind of push themselves in the record format and make like albums that are have these kind of like cohesive things, and it's like a I have a lot of respect for them and root for them. And when the first single off the new record, Starburster, came out, I was like kind of blown away, you know? And then I've since listened to the record a lot of times, and it's really exciting. We met them one time at like Primavera or something. They were so nice and kind of like, I don't know, we're all big fans. So
cool.
They offered us the shows in London, which I think, you know, they're from Ireland, but I think some of them live in London now, so it's kind of like a hometown show. It feels special to have gotten that offer, and they'll be like the biggest shows we've played in a while.
Do you guys not give a fuck just like them about Oasis reunion?
We talked about this. I wouldn't say I don't give a fuck. Well, I probably don't really give a fuck. We saw, which one did we see play?
Which brother?
We saw Liam play.
Yeah, and it's like he played the songs. Like it's not
I
really
had the same experience that I would have, but you know, my friends who are really happy about it, I'm really happy for them.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm really happy.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm not like mad at it, but I'm not gonna buy tickets.
yeah, they can do whatever they want.
I mean, so I think it was Digo who was saying that. So people are so nostalgic for this thing, but they are not paying attention to new stuff. Just like Fontaines DC or DIIV or whatever, you know, there's plenty of new bands or new stuff, and people are just like, oh, you know, they are gonna sell out like a bunch of Wembley Stadium shows, which is fine. But his point was that people are not paying attention to new stuff, which is also
I mean, you can
true.
do both at the same time. You know, I like a ton of music, you know, and I listen to a ton of it. And like, the fact that it's a rock band selling a ton of tickets in 2024 or 25 or whenever it is, that's good for us, a rock band. And so like, and I think it's good for them, a rock band. So like, I kind of understand what he's saying, but also I think like as long as someone on the team, the rock team is winning, it's good for us, you know?
I think that's I agree with you, because I think if there is hopefully a new band that will sell a lot of tickets, just like Oasis, like in the near future. But in the meantime, if Depeche Mode or you know any band,
whatever,
they are, if they get to, I mean, if they told you to support like a show or a tour, you probably would think about it seriously, because it's a huge exposure for the band as well. So it will help you in the end, and other bands.
Yeah.
And any huge band like that that's been around for a long time, you can learn something from being on tour with them. Like we love doing tours like that. It's really cool to see that kind of like
It's like
next level.
college for us.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, Kloppes here is saying like it's very cool, like the session with Fender. What about the Fender player too? You like those?
Stop, I'm not getting paid for this.
No,
No, okay.
but you can tell the truth.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever played one was when we were on camera for the thing. It seemed nice.
Seemed fine, yeah.
I guess. I don't
We
know.
have one here. Like
Yeah, I saw that.
We aren't getting
You are
paid
like,
to-
oh, hide that thing. Hide that thing.
No, it was like a fun experience, and like obviously for us to make a little bit of money doing like an ad.
Yeah.
We've never had the opportunity to do something like that, and we use Fender guitars like exclusively anyway, and so it felt like a cool partnership, and it was like a fun kind of window into a world that we're not a part of, and I feel like fans of Fender or whatever being introduced to us, you know, the like we got to play one of our own songs, and then we had to do a cover of the Kinks song at like a specific BPM. There's all these rules, and it was kind of like fun to work within those limitations and like make something that fit their thing. So all in all, I'm definitely glad we did it, and they gave us a guitar.
Okay.
At the end of it.
Yeah, that's the better part.
Yeah, it was nice.
The fun part.
Next is I don't know, Mountain Dew commercial. Or something.
Sure. Hit us up.
Yeah.
You
us too.
will have to pretend you like to drink that shit.
We will sell any product for you know. We got the
Yeah.
ExxonMobil, yeah.
I mean, it's part of the game.
all the brands right here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I see Coca-Cola there.
And Playboy Maxi.
Well, but no, you know, seriously, like if you get to do this kind of things, and that will pay you a new video, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, Taquito de Pastor is asking, like, take back your podcast and make one about the city.
This city?
Yeah. Well, he's saying that.
I don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
It would be a pretty short episode.
You can do it here.
I'm gonna hold you to that.
¿Qué dice Banana? Do you like politics? Because somebody's asking about a commercial for left party government. Yeah.
I mean, do we like politics? No.
No.
Do we engage with them constantly, and that's all we think about? Yeah.
Totally. That's awful. Living like that way. And right now, the States is like us. We in Latin America, you're always constantly thinking politics. It's impossible to avoid that. Yeah. And now you're getting like a piece of that.
Yeah, and I keep seeing, New York Times, LA Times with these articles of like these undecided voters. I'm like, who the fuck doesn't like? And it's they call them low information voters or whatever, or people who I guess don't pay attention until 2 weeks before the election. And I just don't understand that type of person. Like maybe they don't go on the internet at all. But even if you don't go on the internet, you don't watch TV. Like, I don't understand how you can not at least it's just this constant deluge of information about politics. I don't understand how you can, at this point, not already have your mind made up.
One thing we noticed in South America was like how much more engaged the young people at our shows seemed with like the political climate and talking about politics. And usually after shows, we kind of just talk to people about like whatever, sometimes music, but so many people after the show are telling us like the political history of the country that we're in and the U.S. backing behind the dictatorships and all these like, all this stuff that we're interested in. And it feels like there's so much more of a political awareness with younger people here than there is at home. Maybe I'm wrong. But at least at our shows, that seems to be.
It's true, but you to be aware of it because.
I mean, so do we, but.
Yeah, but it's kind of different. But yeah, sadly.
we have to go. But thank you so much for stopping by.
Yeah.
It was so cool to have you guys here. Hopefully next time we get to do a live session here at the studio. In the next record, like in 10 years or something.
Yeah, it's gonna be the masterpiece. Yeah. Oasis is gonna be opening for us.
Yeah, a rock opera. Yeah. Well, thank you guys. Lastly, can you record like a proper ID for the radio? Because when we interview by Zoom, it's like a shitty audio. It's like Zoom needs to upgrade that or somebody else.
I know. I heard this thing recently how like during the pandemic, Zoom became like the biggest company in the world, and they just didn't invest any of that money into the product.
Even a new graphic or something. It's like a
new
shitty
logo.
thing.
At least a new logo.
No, they just put it all in their pockets.
Yeah. Okay, can you record that how it is?
Yeah. So please look at this camera and say, "Hey, this is Cole. Hey, this is Ben. We're DIIV. And why the fuck aren't you listening to La Bestia Radio?"
Okay.
Hey, this is Cole.
Hey, this is Ben
From DIIV.
from DIIV. Why the fuck aren't you listening to La Bestia Radio?
Thank you so much.
Not very good.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much.
That was fun. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Bueno, vamos a despedirnos. ¿Qué queda ahí, Pablito?
That's one of the good interviews. That's just like kind of a conversation.
Okay, we will say goodbye with Brown Paperback.
Not talk about
Can you introduce that song to the audience? You will play that tomorrow?
It's the worst song on our album.
I like it, man.
I'm just kidding.
Oh. Which one you prefer?
Let's do Raining on Your Pillow. Sure. Okay, this is the best song on our album, Frog and Boiling Water. It's called Raining on Your Pillow.
Dee doo doo dee.